So welcome back to our channel, and in the previous video we got to know about the benefits for studying in Italy, and now we'll discuss about the documents that are needed to do the process and even how we'll do the process in 4 parts. Okay, so before going to the process, we'll talk about what are the documents that are required. So if you are desiring to get to apply in bachelor's program, so you need your passport. Passport is very much required. It's a mandatory document which is needed. Passport size photo is needed, and your 10th 12th mark sheets are required, and 2 letter of recommendations are required from your like faculties or the teachers who taught you in your school in your 12th standard, and motivation letter is required, like for which program you are going, that motivation letter is required, and medium of instruction certificate or IELTS. While I was explaining you the benefits, I told you that IELTS is not required for some of the universities, but for few universities which are the top universities you are targeting, then somewhere it is required. So if you are planning, you can give IELTS also. And the other document that are needed are your Skype ID, Europass CV, and Aadhaar. So these are the major, and if you are a bona fide student, a pursuing student, so you can also prepare a bona fide certificate. So these are all the documents which are needed for doing the applications for bachelor's. And if we talk about masters also same documents are there. That is your passport size photo, 10 12 mark sheet with your bachelor's mark sheets, and even your degrees are required over here, and either the provisional one in the beginning or the main degree can also work over here, and 2 letter of recommendations again of your faculties who taught you in your bachelor's, or else you can take the recommendations from your workplace also, from where you did your internships, or if you're working in some company or there, so you can take the letter of recommendations from there itself. And again same SOP, statement of purpose, that is known as the motivation letter also, that is also required for which program you are applying, and Europass CV, Skype ID, Aadhaar or PAN. And if you are a bona fide student, if you are in your final year of your bachelor's, you can use the bona fide certificate, and with this also you can do the application. So these are all the documents which are needed for doing the applications for the bachelor's program and for doing the applications for the master's program. And let's talk about the procedure next. If we talk about the process is basically divided into 4 equal parts. First is the admission process. Like if you are a bachelor student, then you need to give an entrance exam to get the offer letter, and if you're a master's student, then you don't have to give any test. So first, the major concern in the admission process is we have to do the application in all the relevant programs, so that we get the offer letter very easily. If you go for the relevant background, the university will definitely give you the acceptance. And apart from this, you have to apply on time. The major concern is once the university opens their calls, they are open for the registrations, they are taking the admission to get the seat in the university, you have to apply on the first come first serve base, so that you get the offer letter on time. Because once you have done the application, it takes time for the offer letter to come, like it takes almost 40 to 45 days. And once you have received the offer letter, and if you are satisfied with the offer letter, and if there is no condition mentioned, you don't have to give any exams, or they don't ask for IELTS, anything, then you can proceed for the second process, that is the pre-enrollment process. So in the pre-enrollment process, there are 2 types of enrollment which is to be done. One is the university enrollment, and the second is the universitally pre-enrollment. The university enrollment is the seat confirmation process, like you have applied in 5 universities and you got the offer letter from 2 of them. So now in the university where you are confirming your seat, you will do the enrollment by paying the administrative fees or by paying the regional tax of the particular region of the particular university. Like for example, we see in the Casino University, the students for confirming their seat, they have to pay 10 euros for confirming their seat. So, or the administrative fees are also charged. So, by this you can confirm your seat. The second enrollment is the pre-enrollment. Pre-enrollment is basically done through the Universatally portal, that is the government portal, that is Universatally, and here you need to submit all your documents, whatever you use at the time of your application process, and a summary will be generated. This summary is very much important for your visa procedure. After that, you have to go for your documents attestations. Okay, so we were talking about the attestation. So the attestation comes, there are two types of attestations to be done. First is the state attestation. So from whichever state you have completed your education, you have to go to the state capital higher education department and get the attestations at the back of your mark sheets. Like if you are planning for your bachelor, then you have to get the attestation at the back of your 10th 12th mark sheet, and if you are planning for your masters, then you have to get the attestations on the back of your degree, bachelor's degree, and your transcript. So these attestations are to be done by the student itself from the state capital higher education department, from the gadget officers. Then comes the central attestation. So the central attestation is done from the Ministry of External Affairs, that is the apostille, and second is translation, which is done from Mumbai Embassy. So the person can also hire any agent for doing on their behalf, or else they can go directly and book their appointment and can get it done. After this, the person have to go for the DOV. Now DOV is declaration of value, which is the legalization of your educational documents. So this is done from the consulate according to your educational state. Whatever jurisdiction is lying, you have to go to that consulate and apply for your DOV. You have to submit your offer letter, take your pre-enrollment summary, take all your documents, the HRD attested one and the apostille and translated one for the DOV. Submit all the documents over there, and it takes 30 to 35 days for the DOV to come. Okay, once you have applied for it, you got your DOV, they'll be giving you one receipt. That receipt you have to keep it safe with you when you are applying for your visa. Then directly the next process is the visa procedure. In the visa procedure, you have to take other documents like your cover letter, sponsor letter, travel insurance, itinerary, accommodation proof, all these documents. The cover letter should be very, very strong, because it is the major thing which is majorly checked at the time of your visa. Okay, and this is the reason also for the visa rejection. So we cannot do any mistakes in making the cover letter. So it should be a very strong cover letter. Okay, you can take the help of the content writers, or you can take the help of the consultancy in making this for you. Apart from this, a sponsor letter is needed. So the sponsor letter is a self-declaration of the person who is sponsoring you. Now here the criteria are changed for this intake, and now there can be, your parents can only be the sponsor, or else you can be the self-sponsor if you are earning from 3 years and you have 3 years of ITR. Or else you can sponsor third party also, that can be the education loan. So the education loan, you can connect with the banks to help you out in providing the education loan. And apart from this, at the time of the visa, you need to show some funds. Like if you are planning for bachelors, you need to show 15 to 16 lakhs of funds in the sponsoring bank account with the proper 3 years of ITR and proper proof of the funds and even the source of the funds. And if you are planning for masters, then you have to show 10 to 12 lakhs of funds in the sponsoring bank account. Apart from this, the travel insurance of 1 year you have to do, and the itinerary and the accommodation, your flight and your accommodation bookings also you have to show. So these are all the documents which are needed for the visa procedure. And at the time of visa, like in some consulates, like if you talk about Mumbai and Kolkata, so here the interviews are scheduled. Here you have to give a proper interview also. You have to go physically over there at your consulate according to your passport. which jurisdiction is lying, and you have to go for the interview as well. In Delhi Embassy, from the past experience, we are seeing that here you only need to submit the documents. The interviews are not scheduled. So it is not confirmed for this intake whether the interviews will be scheduled or not. But to make your profile for the visa process, I will personally recommend you to give IELTS, so that it boosts up your profile and it increase your chances for the visa procedure. Okay. Then one more very important process is the scholarship process. The scholarship, the need-based scholarship, it generally starts in the June month. Okay. And from whichever university you have received the offer letter. Okay, so according to that university, in whichever region it is falling, you have to apply for the scholarship. Like for example, if you talk about Casino and Rome Tor Vergata and Sapienza, so it is in the southern Lazio region. So there is Lazio regional scholarship. So you have to apply on the portals, and even you have to prepare the physical documents, that is the family, income, property, bank details, which are to be mentioned according to your background. If you mention less, so under the rankings you will be on top. If you mention more, you will be falling under the less ranking. And according to your financial background, you will be receiving the scholarship. If you are financially weak, then you will definitely receive the scholarship. This scholarship will be disbursed in your bank account after reaching to Italy after 3 months. So initially 3 months expenses you have to bear by yourself. So just be careful about it and take some funds with you of around almost 1 lakh to 1,50,000, which will be helping you out for the initial accommodation and the food facility and the rest of the expenses. So once you reach to Italy, you have to submit the physical documents at the CAF office as well. So this is a very short explanation about a 4-step procedure which is to be done. For more details, you can check our single videos which are prepared wholly for DOV, for attestations, that be updated with our YouTube channel. Thank you.